You know, it's not just Twin River anymore.
The Dan Yorke State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Taco Comfort Solutions.
Great to have you aboard. Twin River is now Bally's Twin River Lincoln. And I figure in 20 years you'll start to refer to it as Bally's, because we're kind of sticks in the mud when it comes to referring to things as they used to be, right? Nonetheless, the casino is the largest source of revenue in Rhode Island outside of taxation, and a staple business that we need to keep tabs on. And the Vice President, General Manager of the facility will be here to talk to us about that momentarily and talk about the expansion that is happening there. It's all part of the merger of IGT and Twin River in a kind of a consortium of hopeful benefit to the taxpayers here. So kind of bringing you up to date. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I got a lot of things in my mind, and so does the president. The meetings that the president has had in the week that has been are significant and crucial, and we're back and forth between. Let's see, which one first? Anyway, the headline about the meetings with the Democrats is very interesting, because look, we got a progressive wing of the Democrats that has blown up all across this country, and here in Rhode Island as well. Stay tuned for that conversation in about 2 minutes, but. It presents a real problem for anybody that considers himself to be a moderate Democrat, which Joe Biden, for the most part, is, trying to put a package together for both loading the economy with a big New Deal, right? Not the Green New Deal necessarily, but it's kind of said, this is where we rebuilt America. Unfortunately, the progressives want everything and more and more and more and more, and are continuing to be sticks in the mud. And it's complicated because most Americans don't understand the difference between the infrastructure bill and the budget bill. Now, add in that the House is already this week. Now, recall, I say this to you each week, I tape this show on Thursdays generally. You're watching it on Friday and Sunday, so things may have happened in the meantime. But we've got a combination of issues here, a confluence of issues that include keeping the Democrats online for a package while trying to get the Republicans to raise the debt ceiling. That's where the second headline comes in here. The Republicans are like, hell no, we are not raising the debt ceiling. In fact, here's a combination of Mitch McConnell and Senator Schumer doing battle.
Republicans are united in opposition to raising the debt ceiling.
I'd like every single Republican senator to answer the question, are they willing to let the government default?
You know, we've got this practice that's gone on. Oh, we've raised the debt ceiling like 80 times since 1960. It becomes perfunctory, and there's this false notion out there that there's actually a political gain to be had from trying to, keep a tight fiscal ship by not voting for a debt ceiling, and that's something the Republicans are banking on right now. Of course, Donald Trump raised the debt ceiling. Donald Trump's against raising the debt ceiling now because Donald Trump's not in there, and Donald Trump's still like the puppet tier. He's still pulling the strings. And this is a mess. Get ready, because I think we're going to have a couple 3-week, 4-week period of time when the debt ceiling is not raised. Your stocks are going to go through the toilet. Financial transactions are going to be challenging. There's going to be a little bit of a mess out there. And then they'll all get it through their thick heads to fix the whole thing. And then the stocks are going to go like this. But you're going to have a rocky ride here. And I don't think that most Americans, forget Republicans or Democrats, want to go through this nonsense all the time. But it is where we are, ladies and gentlemen, playing to bases for bases' sake and not really doing any zero-based constructive work for the country. That's politics in our current time, and I don't know when it's going to end. In the meantime, let's bring this conversation home. I'm very concerned about what's happened here with the unvaccinated healthcare workers. I didn't start this conversation, meaning I didn't establish an October 1st deadline. The Department of Health did, and so did the McKee administration, because the governor's the boss. Headline in the Boston Globe here, I think, is pretty interesting. Rhode Island will allow some unvaccinated healthcare workers to do their thing. And then secondly, this headline in the Journal that appeared on Thursday morning, I think, kind of speaks to it. I often chide the Journal for unfair headlines, but this one is actually right on the money. Kind of got to squeeze your eyes there. Vaccination deadline extension confuses. It does. Look, here's the deal. The major hospital organizations are good with the October 1st deadline. They want their employees vaccinated, and they're up to about 95, 96%. And in another week or so, when we get to October 1st, you're going to see another surge of people who are actually vaccinated, but just PO'd that they had to be vaccinated, that they didn't want to say they were vaccinated, and will actually show their vaccination cards. I promise you, it's going to happen. But there are satellite healthcare facilities, smaller, that are worried about person power. If Dan Yorke is the governor, he says to his health department, look, you brought me to this deadline. A deadline's a deadline. It is your job to make sure that the handful of healthcare facilities out there that will be short on manpower are helped. That it is your job to secure the health of the people in this state. You go out and recruit. You go out and find some COVID money out of the budget that we have for COVID, which is huge, by the way. You present me the plan that backfills the problems that stem from the deadline. But I am not going to move a deadline that I've been standing on my head saying is a deadline, because I have credibility that I have to maintain, because I need to be able to say to anybody in the future, when I say yes, I mean yes. When I say no, I mean no. When I say a date, it means hard. I'm not the governor. Dan McKee's the governor. Dan McKee operates in a different way. Dan McKee's a friend of mine, and I think he's a man of character. I'm worried that this was not a Reagan moment for him. I'm worried that this is a credibility issue for the administration. Seriously. Yes means yes, no means no, and the calendar is a fixed number. Meanwhile, Matt Brown gets in the governor's race. Headline here, Matt Brown's a former Secretary of State in the early 2000s. He ran against Ling Chafee and then balked, got out of the race. That was for U.S. Senate. He ran against Gina Raimondo in 2018, kind of last minute, and got 35%. You get 30% for writing your name down on the SAT test. In other words, if you get on the ballot and somebody half knows you, you're going to get 30% because there's always a protest vote. So he didn't do very well. You know what I mean by the SAT test? You know how when you wrote your name down, you get 200 points for math, 200 points for the writing, simply for putting your name down? Only us old farts know what the SAT test numbers were back in that day. But seriously, just for getting in, you get 30. So he got 35. So people think, he's a nothing burger. And the Democratic Party brass that's upset that he's into this race are already, getting after him. Thing is, difference between him and a guy like Jorge Elorza getting in to help like Dan McKee and now you got a crowded race now. You got McKee, you got Magaziner, you got Gorbea, now you got Brown, right? Someone say, well, that helps McKee. Not if he can't get independent voters into the primary. Not if he can't get the business community engaged. Not if he moves deadlines. Now, the point here is that Matt Brown is a progressive leader, and he's got a whole fleet of folks out there who are going to surge in. He's got a lieutenant gubernatorial partner in Senator Mendes. There's a whole thing going on here that is going to be a playa in this race. So for those who think that Matt Brown is an also-ran or a joker, think again. This is going to be a very complicated governor's race. All right, really quickly, this headline is all about what we're talking about tonight. The Twin River expansion is on and it's ready to go, right? Do we have that? Did I jump on you? No, I think we're good. Yeah, there we go. And I bring in my guest who slides in, Mr. Craig Sculos, who's one of the big bosses over there. Before we get into this whole thing, just give me an executive summary on how things are. By the way, good to see you, my friend. Give me the 30-second version. Things are?
We're moving progressively. How does that sound?
Oh! You want to get yourself in the middle of that?
No, I don't. I can't spell SAT, by the way. Never mind.
You remember when you just put your name down?
It was 200 points.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, just,
yeah.
Progressive can be a political term. It also could mean you're making progress.
Exactly. That's the
battling back from COVID.
Correct, and that's exactly the terminology that I'm using here. Like the rest of the business world, a little bit difficult during the COVID era, but we've been coming back pretty much since early June. Every month has been getting a little bit closer to our 2019 levels. We're still waiting to bring a couple of amenities back on. The hotel will open October 1st. Fred and Steve Steakhouse actually opens this weekend. We're probably scheduling a little bit of entertainment in the fourth quarter, and valet parking will probably fall in on the 1st as well. So our goal is to be prudent, be safe, keep moving forward, and of course our big construction projects in the middle of all of it.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to see a little bit about that construction project, show you some charts, and talk about the industry itself in the post-COVID phase. Stay with us.
Expansion at the casino is now underway.
We are absolutely upgrading and enhancing the resort-style experience for this property.
The project includes new modern gaming space, a spa attached to the hotel, and an additional food hall. Bally's Twin River Casino Resort is expected to be a financial boost for the company, the town of Lincoln, and the state. Governor Dan McKee tells me the project will also preserve and create jobs.
To celebrate well-paying jobs, to celebrate tourism. There'll be more revenues, so more people visiting the state, not only to spend here in Lincoln, but also to spend around the state.
But the casino has competition from neighboring Connecticut and Massachusetts. Casino Vice President Craig Sculos tells me their approach is to focus on their jurisdiction.
What happens in Massachusetts and Connecticut is it's really beyond our ability to control. What we're trying to do is put together the best product possible. So we think today starts the process of enhancing the guest experience. And it certainly brings this whole property, Twin River, brings it to a whole different level.
You know, I always, anytime I see any investment in business news, whether it's yours or anybody else's, I sigh a bit of relief that we can get through this 18 months and 24 months and whenever this virus thing is put to bed in an endemic way and just becomes the flu and nobody, you know, really worries about it anymore, that yes, Virginia, there will be a Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly right, Dan. And that's, you and I have spoken about this on the radio show. That's part of the casino experience. It's social. It's getting out and being with other people. But this is a $100 million investment, part of our commitment to the state of Rhode Island.
And you should just not to jump in, but so people understand, that was part of the big agreement, the merger, IGT. You know, the battle that you guys had was epic, and the amiability of the cure was kind of quick and I think predictable. But that $100 million investment is not just, you didn't wake up yesterday morning and go, hey, you know, why don't we throw $100 million into this whole thing? You were obligated to do so.
Yeah, this is part of the Marquette Crisafulli Economic Development Act. It is exactly coming from what you were talking about. So we made a commitment, $100 million to be invested in the state. The brick and mortar portion is just starting now. It's the 40,000 square feet of gaming space, a 14,000 square foot spa. We're putting people back to work. We're doing this under a project labor agreement with Rhode Island Construction and Building Trades. It's about securing jobs. It's about creating more jobs. And as you said, Dan, we have the third largest source of revenue for the state.
People get confused. Who's Mark A. Crisafulli, unless you know? Mark is a senior guy at Twin River who's been battling cancer, and there was a little bit of sentiment that entered into the finality of this agreement that he was a principal negotiator in, so they named it after him, which is, I thought, was a nice touch.
Yeah.
And he's doing better, right?
He's doing better. We spoke with him right after the press conference. He sounds great. Eagerly anticipating coming back to work in the fall, and together with Bob Vincent, Jay Gendron, they worked out the deal.
Good. So the $100 million, let's see a couple of pictures here, if we can. Just throw me a picture or two, and Craig, just do me, so this shows us what? What is this?
The two yellow boxes, top left would be the 14,000 square foot spa. It's Korean style. It will have dry and wet saunas, relaxation pools, and your typical spa treatments like massages and skin treatments. The bottom yellow box, that is the actual gaming expansion. 40,000 square feet, predominantly table games, supplemented by slot machines. There'll be a center bar, some nice design features, and part of it, Dan, is a new experience, a new element. It's actually an Asian style food court, or food hall, I should say. It's getting away from the food court. It's a new dynamic. So
Okay.
we're introducing some new
picture number
amenities.
2, we got another one here that we can take a look at. So that's a closer view of it. And number 3 is, we have a third one there, I think.
That's the second floor, Dan, and what we're hoping to do is consolidate all of gaming on the first floor. Have just a small number of slot machines on the second floor. When we're done, that'll improve the traffic flow, that will improve the aesthetic. And also part of this plan, Dan, is we're going to go back into the first floor and do renovations. So you'll see the lighthouse we've done, new carpeting, new lighting, new restrooms. So this is a multi-year project that we're really eagerly looking forward to.
All right, the industry dynamics when we come back. Stay with us. So some pretty pictures. I get a kick out of this conversation I have with Craig over Bally's. And Bally's is obviously an industry leader. The branding, Bally's Twin River Lincoln, is your now formal, I'll do my best to refer to it that way. But, you know, there's still people going to Lincoln Downs for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know?
It was interesting, Dan, that some folks still refer to it as the track, but the Bally's, the first part of the official name is Bally's Twin River Lincoln Casino Resort, but the Bally's portion of it is kicking in. But you're right, Rhode Islanders, do you know where Apex is, you know, or do you know where so-and-so used to be? But we'll get there, and the Bally's story is interesting, Dan. It's 100 years, started as a pinball manufacturer, gyms, gaming. When we purchased a landmark property, the Atlantic City Bally's, they did a deep research, branding. The name resonated. So what we're doing now is rolling out Bally's. We're one of about 5 jurisdictions that have taken on the Bally's name. So Phil Giuliano, George Papanier did the research and said, there's a lot of equity in this. Let's fit the national identity. And us and Tiverton being rebranded.
And while I kid about the idiosyncratic behavior of the Rhode Island consumer in our culture here, you know, brand names elevate consciousness. So it very well may mean it may not mean as much to the everyday Rhode Islander, but it does mean some to that 2, 3, 4, 5% of population that you need to careen from Connecticut, from Boston. So from a business model and branding point of view, that's where the juice is, right?
Yeah, tremendous significance, Dan. And with all due respect to our precursor, which was Twin River Management Group, that was a regional name. Bally's is national. We are operating now, we'll be operating very shortly, about 16 casinos in 11 different states. It's us, it's Atlantic City, it's Delaware. It'll be a major brand, and you're exactly right. That's where the sizzle is.
We've long wondered, I know I have, about the saturation of gaming and whether or not we are just wringing out water from a really, really sopping towel here. It doesn't seem like you guys are that concerned about it. You know, up in Springfield, MGM, they're not printing money. Yeah. Tell me, at what point is this choke?
Well, I think that will be borne out. COVID created a lot of chaos for all of us.
Nobody can evaluate anything right now.
Exactly right. But our company is very smart in the sense that a dollar is not spent unless we believe there's a return on it. So we're not going to go and just haphazardly invest the money. Our property will be upgraded. We feel we'll be able to compete with anyone in New England. As I said in the clip, we can't control what happens in Connecticut or Massachusetts. We'll take care of our business here. And quite frankly, as an operator, I love the positioning of the new Twin River under the Bally's brand. We have these extra amenities coming on. Hopefully, Dan, we get back into entertainment. As I said, Fred and Steve Steakhouse, Jerry Longo's Meatball and Martinis. We have those amenities coming on, and the sports book is doing well. So, yeah, this is a prudent investment. It's the right way to spend the money.
You're a consummate marketer. No, you are. You're a consummate marketer. I just, what is the industry forecast, though? Give me the down and dirty data. What's the ceiling for America to be gambling their loose change?
The industry continues to reinvent itself, Dan. Every time that you think you've maxed out and capped out, something will come on. Part of where Bally's is going that's really interesting to me is the interactive space. So while the brick and mortar casino, you can never duplicate that online, but we have a whole bevy of products, Bally's Interactive, Bally's Sports Betting, Telescope, all of these products that are designed to do the gaming online. So the combination of your traditional gaming plus your interactive gaming, I think the future is very bright.
So does the interactive gaming affect the physical plant? I mean, here you are investing in the physical plant. Look, it's kind of funny. Online gaming for sports has gone through the roof, but people still go on the games.
Right.
So you can't trade the experience.
Right.
But they seem to be two different customers.
Yeah, what interactive does is convenience. It gives you the opportunity at 2 o'clock in the morning, if you just don't feel like coming to the property, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can play slots online, you can place your sports wagers online, but it's not exactly duplicating what you just said.
There are the folks out there who believe that the state of Rhode Island has not done enough to invest in problem gambling, and that the formulas don't match up. What's your consciousness on that?
We're investing in it. We're working with the state. I think our investment was somewhere close to $400,000. That's what it should be for this year. We're obviously here. We make a very clean statement and a clear statement. If you can't afford to gamble, don't. We don't want you coming, and we're here to help you. But we are working together with the Rhode Island Lottery to get the funding in place, and we'll continue to be a proactive partner.
Well, you know, the advice is sincere. By the way, the other advice Sculos gave me is, don't bet on your favorite football team. Now, I tried not to, but every once in a while, last year, I threw a couple bucks down on the Giants and lost.
How did that work out for you,
No,
Dan?
I just said lost. But you know, I'll tell you, the entertainment experience enhanced at Bally's Twin River, I think, is a benefit to the state. There are those who would be watching the show saying, boy, Dan, you're all in with these guys. Don't you know that gaming's no good? That ship sailed a long time ago. You are our biggest non-tax revenue partner. If we don't win together, we all lose. So
Exactly right, Dan, and we provide good paying jobs, union jobs, non-union jobs, jobs that are jobs that become careers. It's a full entertainment complex. It's no longer just gambling.
I only have 10 seconds since you mentioned that. You having trouble getting help? Because everyone's having trouble getting help.
It's been a little bit difficult, particularly people ask why isn't poker up and running? We're having problems getting dealers.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll practice. They're fast. Good to see you, my friend.
You as well.
Good luck
Thank
with
you,
the
Dan.
expansion. Final word when we come back. All righty. Twin River is now Bally's Twin River Lincoln. Practice that. It'll take you a while. Just know that as they go, in large part, so goes Rhode Island. So make that a consideration with your consumer dollar. We'll see you next week, and of course on the radio, weekdays 3 till 6 on WPRI. Thanks for tuning in.